and welcome to your online math class. These are just a few exercises that we're going to go through for you to complete at home. You don't need any equipment. A mat or a towel is perfect, and I would suggest having a pillow. You may or may not need it, but just have it to hand for any particular parts of the exercises. So you might all recognize our lovely model Cheryl, so she's kindly offered to help out to demonstrate the exercises to you. So first and foremost, we're just going to get your position on the mat set up. So you've got your head on the pillow or on the ground, and then you've got your knees bent up and you're thinking about your knees being hip distance apart. To start with, I just want you to think about your shoulder position. So you're going to shrug your shoulders forward, drop them back towards the mat, coming forward, dropping back, and just finding a position where collarbone feels nice and wide and your shoulder blades are relaxed. And then we're going to move down to your pelvis, and you're going to just do a little bit of a rocking motion. Just drop your sit bones down, tuck your tailbone under, and just to try and get a nice neutral position where your spine is sitting nice and gently on the mat. So where that triangular bone is kind of nice and settled on the mat. Perfect. Then I want you to focus on your legs. You want the legs to be in line with your hip joint, and then your feet are nice and light, again with those knees hip distance apart. So first and foremost, we're going to start with a bit of breathing. So we're going to pop one hand onto our chest wall, one hand onto our belly. And I want you to think about trying to get your diaphragm to work a little bit more effectively. Want to try and keep the breath nice and silent in the upper chest, and you're going to try and direct your breath down towards your belly. So as you breathe in, you're going to breathe down towards your belly, and then you're going to breathe out. And the breath is coming in and out through your nose. So it's a nice count of 2 on your breath in, count of 3 on your breath out. And on that breath out, I want you to think, can I just sink my body towards the floor? And just think about letting all that tension out of your system with the breath. So trying to get that diaphragm to work a little bit more effectively, and that in turn is going to give us a little bit more control through our deep system and our core. Head is nice and heavy, shoulders are nice and relaxed, and you're just getting that focus of just a gentle rise of your hand in your belly in that position. And we're just going to do that for a few more breaths. Still got that nice kind of sense of relaxation as you let the breath come out. And that is also letting your body just sink towards the floor in that position. Lovely. Just got a couple more breaths there. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to focus on your pelvis. You're going to pop your hands down by your side, and you're going to just think about this section of the body. So we want to try and learn how to move our pelvis, or try to activate that pelvic movement, because it's really important for how we sit to stand, how we actually balance ourselves when we sit, and also allows us to move from A to B. So what Cheryl's doing is she's growing her sit bones towards her heels, and then she's tucking her tailbone under, and then just repeating that movement. Now, a lot of us will cheat from the ribs. This movement wants to happen here, and try to avoid overworking the rib cage. So I'm going to get her to pop her hands onto her rib cage just to monitor that. And then she's just going to keep thinking about working from the sitting bone down here, and then she's going to tuck her tailbone under. Not pushing through your feet, you're just getting that nice motion happening from the pelvis, and it's just a nice gentle movement. And if you just have a little look, Cheryl's chin is dropping really nicely, and that means that she's getting this lovely knock-on effect through the spine simply by waking up her pelvis. And it's just a nice rock back and forth. Perfect. Then we're going to think about moving the sit bones, where you're going to walk one sit bone down towards the heel on that side, and then on the other side. So you're shortening one side while you lengthen the other, and again the movement's coming from your pelvis, not pushing through your feet. So the sit bone, you're sending it towards the heel, and then the other side will shorten as you do that. And it's just a little bit of mobility. And if you think about it, when you do stairs, when you walk, you're getting that bit of transfer of weight from one sit bone to the other. Lovely. Don't forget, when you do an exercise, keep your shoulders and your neck relaxed. So even though you're concentrating here, think, can I just melt that upper body as well? Excellent. Okay, so next exercise we're going to do is just working on a little bit of control. So you're going to focus on the thigh bone here. Comes up to 90 degrees, and then you're just going to place the foot back down. We're going to alternate just to 90 degrees, back down, coming up, and coming back down. You just want to come to there, come back down, coming up, and come back down. Now I want you to get your breath involved. So you're going to think, breathe out as you lift up, breathe in as you bring the leg down, out as you come up, in as you come down. And that's going to help you with just keeping a nice rhythm and just working on that control. You can pop those hands down by your side. And again, we're just aiming for that nice bit of control as you lift that leg. Excellent. This also allows for a bit of weight shift from side to side, so your muscles are having to work to lift the leg and control that movement. Lovely. Just a couple more on each side. It's nice, and Cheryl's getting a lovely 90 degrees. She's not trying to pull the knee in too far where that'll flatten out your back. You're just working on that control. Excellent. Last one, and then coming back down. So the next exercise is just going to build on that. You're going to bring that leg up to 90 degrees again, and then you're going to extend the leg out so that the thigh bones end up being in line with each other, and you've got this nice length through the leg. You bend the knee back into 90 degrees, and then you bring that foot back down. Alternate to the other side, 90 degrees, extend out in line with the other leg, bending back up, and then back to the floor. And then we're going to go again. So 90 degrees, extend that leg out in line with your other leg. So you can go to there, bring that knee back in, and then back to the floor, and on this side. So you're alternating the legs each time. So left and then right, and then making sure you've got that bend, extend, bend, and then back to the floor. And again, bend, extend, bend, and back to the floor. Bend, extend, bend, back to the floor, bend, extend, bend, back to the floor. Got one more on each side. So you've got that bend, extend, lengthen that leg out, lovely, bend back in, back to the floor, bend, extend, bend back in, and back to the floor. Excellent. Okay, so from there, we're going to bring your legs up into a tabletop position. So you're going to do one leg at a time to not stress your lower back. And the tabletop position is a nice 90-degree angle, and your shin bone is at a nice 90 degrees as well. You can relax your foot, take the other leg up, and then that's your starting point. So the key thing with this is we're looking for control. So Cheryl's going to keep that breathing coming down towards her belly, and then she's going to fold the knee, just the one knee, and you're going to toe tap to the floor, come back up, and that's her resting point. Then the knee, toe tap, rest point, bend the knee, toe tap, rest point. So she's going to breathe out, breathe in and rest, breathe out, back up. So I'd breathe out as you toe tap down, so you're just getting that nice control of the breath with the movement. Make sure that those shoulders are nice and relaxed. Make sure that your head is nice and heavy on the ground or the pillow. And you're just working, and you've got that break in the middle. Make sure you rest. Allow your body to work on that control as you come back with each movement. Good. We've got two left on each side. Tapping down, back up, tapping down, back up, tap down, back up, down, back up, and then one leg at a time, you're just going to rest the feet back to the floor. You're going to take a nice breath all the way out. when the legs are up, it's quite a tax on those lower abdominals. So we're just going to take a little bit of a moment and just let that relax for a second. And then we're just going to alternate it with a little bit of arm work. So you're going to take both arms and you're going to extend them directly in front of your chest. So they're in front of the shoulder joint, that's it. And palms are facing each other. So you want to think about keeping them in line here. And then you're going to use your breath again with the next movement. Keep your mind on this rib cage. The rib cage wants to stay where it is. We don't want the ribs to lift up towards the ceiling just because you've moved the arms. So as you extend the arms back above your head, breathe out, and that will help bring that rib cage down, and then come back to the start. So you don't need to get your arms to the floor, you just need to be aware that's your stop point, and then come back up. I'm just going to correct there. Cheryl's going to keep her elbows nice and that's better, just to there, and then come back. So the length in the elbows is important because, again, it's being aware when that rib cage wants to lift and then come back. So again, breathe out just to there as lows because those ribs are now starting to lift. Come back up, and again. So keep an eye on those. That's much better, much nicer. Good. So she may not get fully to the floor, but she's keeping her rib cage in a better controlled position. So you just want to go as far as your shoulder joint will go. All of our shoulders are different. They're all going to be tight, or some of us will get all the way to the floor. So just the main thing to keep an eye on is that rib cage. She's got 2 more of those. You just keep the arm going back, come back up with your breath in, breath out, and coming back up. Lovely. So you're going to pop your hands down by your side again, and we're going to bring your legs back up into tabletop. So one leg at a time. Lovely. And the other leg. And now we're going to go back to our toe tap, but this time we're going to make it a bit faster. So you're going to tap your left foot to the floor, and then as that comes up, the right foot's going to come down. So you're going to alternate. Lovely. Good. Don't forget to breathe and just keep that going. So it's like you're walking that movement. Lovely. Tap, 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 tap. Keep going. A few more of those. Just keep that going. So imagine it's like a walking motion. Just as one moves, the other one keeps going. Lovely. 3, 2, 1, and then rest both of those legs down. Good. Nice breath out again, just to get yourself settled there. And now we're going to go into a little bit of bridging. So the level 1 with the bridging is with your hands down by your side. If you have been doing the classes for a while and you know that your bridging is pretty good and you're pretty stable, you can pop your hands across your chest. But we're going to show it first with the arms down, and then the last few that Cheryl does, we're going to pop the arms up across the chest. So here, you want to walk your heels in so that your heels are as close to your buttocks as possible. That's going to allow you to lift the hips quite nicely. And you're going to just gently tuck your tailbone under, and you're going to press your pelvis up towards the ceiling. So you're getting that lift through the pelvis, and then your weight shifts to your shoulder blades. And she's just going to think about vertebra by vertebra, rolling that spine back down to the floor. Lovely. And then we're going to go again. So you're going to tuck the tailbone under, you're going to lift up, press the pelvis to the ceiling, and then coming all the way back down. Excellent. And each time you're aiming to get those hips a little bit higher, so pressing up, and then a nice roll down. Think about letting the vertebrae come down. You're getting a nice bit of mobility through that spine in that position. Lovely. Excellent. And again, tucking that tail under, think, can I go higher? Press through, really use your glutes so your hamstrings don't get overworked, and coming all the way down. And 2 more. Excellent. And coming down. Cheryl's sympathy levels are going up for you guys. She now knows what we put you through every week. Once more, coming up. Lovely. And coming all the way back down. Excellent. So then we're going to advance that on. You're going to bring the hips up again. So the pelvis comes up, holding into that position. Now, you're going to ground the right foot and you're going to float the left foot off trying to keep that pelvis level. Bring the foot back down, ground the left foot, float the right, come back down, and then all the way back to the floor. And again, pelvis comes up. Get that nice grounding. Ground this foot, float this leg. And you don't need to float it too high. There is perfect. Come back down, coming up just to there, back down, and all the way down to the floor. And again, coming up, float this foot off, good, back down, ground, and ground first and then lift. So try not to do it too quickly. We want to keep that nice level so you got that grounding, much better. And then that's it, and down you come. So we've got 2 more of those. So you're going to think, coming up, ground this foot, float, lovely, back down. Ground that foot, float, back down, and then back to the start. And then last one, you're just going to come up, grounding the right foot, lift the left, bring it back to the floor, press through that left foot, now lift the right, back to the floor, and then coming all the way back down. Lovely. And again, a nice on your breath out. Okay, so from here, we're going to just get you to think about bringing both hands straight up to the ceiling again. You're going to face both hands towards each other, and you're going to lift both legs up. So see how you go with this one, both in that position. Keep the hands where they are, and you're going to toe tap this foot to the floor, come back up, toe tap this foot to the floor, back up, toe tap, back up, toe tap, back up. Lovely. One more, and wait there. Keep the legs where they are, and now you're going to extend the arms back behind you. So you're going to go again, watch that rib cage, come back to the start. Good. Breathing out as the arms go back. So you're going to go back. Good. Come back to the start. Breathing out. Good. Back to the start. Excellent. Just got 2 more. Coming out, lovely. And back. And last one. Excellent. And back. Perfect. One leg at a time, back to the floor. And then we're going to relax your arms down. So now we're going to come into side lying. So we want to do a little bit of work with a bit of mobility now. So you're going to turn onto that side. You're going to line your legs up, and you want to make sure it's kind of 80 to 90 degrees. And then you're going to have both hands out in front of each other. Head's nice and heavy on the pillow. You're going to take this arm and you're going to open that arm all the way back behind you. Head turned up towards the ceiling. And you're aiming to get the arm to the floor behind you and then coming forward again. This is quite nice because it's getting into your shoulder blade, it's getting into your rib cage and into your hip as well. So it's a really nice exercise to do the book opening, just to try and get that working really nicely. Very nice. And don't worry if the top knee lifts, that's okay. It's just depends on where your mobility is with it as well. So we're just going to get that working through your whole spine. It's a really nice exercise to do to kind of waken up the body as well, or as we're coming down into that cool down with it now, having worked through that core work earlier. Excellent. So you just keep repeating back and forth, aiming for about 8 to 10 of those as well on each side. And just one more. Great. And to make sure that you're even on the other side, we're going to get Cheryl to pop onto her other side now. Perfect. Get out of your way. And I'll just give you a view of what's happening when she comes back with that arm as well. So she's set herself up, her head's nice and heavy, and she's just going to open that arm up again. Lovely. Cheryl's just showing off now. She's getting nice kind of mobility happening there. You can see she's just keeping that elbow nice and long. She's bringing the fingertips as far to the floor as she can. And as I said before, each person's individual. Main thing with this is you go within the limitations of what your body is able to manage and just going forward and back. And you can get your breath involved again if you want. You can breathe in as you come forward, breathe out as you're opening that chest wall out behind you. Lovely. So you're going to keep just getting that nice bit of mobility forward and back. We've got another 3 to do. All the way to the floor. Coming back again, and she's just letting her head roll with the movement. She's keeping her head nice and heavy on the pillow, and the whole movement is really being led from that shoulder joint. Excellent. Lovely. Now that we've got that bit of rotation going, we're just going to finish off with a little bit of opening of the spine. So Cheryl's going to come onto all fours for me, and she's going to walk her knees hip distance apart again. Lovely. And then you're going to come forward into that downward position with your arms. Your sit bones are going to come back. Arms are going to go long, and she's getting this nice opening through her rib cage here, and her arms are nice and long. So the reason this is nice, she's resting her head down as well if she can. Opens your shoulders, opens up your side body, your rib cage here as well. But it also gives a little bit of mobility into your knees and your ankle joints as well. So it's just kind of an overall body stretch to finish off with. So she's going to just breathe again. Going to think about breathing into that rib cage. So she's thinking, can I push wide into my rib cage and just get that breath resettled again like we did at the start. So that's lovely. She's getting nice expansion into those ribs. So I want you to visualize, can I push my ribs wide as I breathe in? Excellent. And just a couple more breaths in that position. Fantastic. Okay, so that's enough, I think, to get you going with little bits of exercise. As we said earlier, just try and think about your limitations. Do as much as you're able to follow. And any questions, as always, just give us a shout. Okay, we'll chat again soon. Bye.
Bye.